Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ito po si Juan Manila ng inyong Pinoy TV Special, and we're going live via Zoom dito po sa ating Pinoy TV Special. Yan po ang ating page. So kung gusto niyo pong mapakinggan, and if you want to say something, any comment, any question with regards to our topic for tonight, you are most welcome. In the meantime, pakikilala ko po muna ang ating mga kaibigan, ang ating mga kasama dito sa ating Pinoy TV Special live video. Unahin ko muna ang ating The Rose Among the Thorn. Ayan, ang maganda, kakit-akit na tiga Calgary na si Emily. Emily, kumusta ka na? Good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Kuya Juan Manila. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Minister McIver. And of course, our friend Ed Villanueva was a very good voice. And Sir Hermo, how are you there in Edmonton? You're staying safe.
Ayun. Okay, thank you very much, Emily. And of course, pupunta naman tayo sa isa pa rin nating panelist. Suki na to. Parehong suki natin na nandito. Na po ay tiga Edmonton, mga kaibigan, at sumusulat din sa kanilang Alberta Journal. Please welcome mga ating kaibigan, si Mr. Hermo Pagtakhan from Edmonton. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very good. Maraming salamat po, magiting na Juan Manila sa paanyaya dito na maging panelist. Good evening also as well to our great Minister Ric McIver, and of course to our beautiful panelists as well. Emily and Ed Villanueva, please.
Ayan, okay. At ang ating kasunod naman, suki na rin natin. Lahat suki dito eh. Suki na rin po natin na nagpe-perform parate at meron po siyang pambahay session. Kung gusto niyo pakinggan yan, every Friday po yan. Si Mr. Ed Villanueva. Mr. Ed Villanueva, good evening to you, my friend.
Good evening, Juan Manila. Maraming salamat for inviting me again. And also, good evening to Minister McIver, Ate Emily, and Sir Hermo, and sa lahat ng mga taga-subaybay.
Ayos! Okay, eto na mga kaibigan. We are going to introduce our very special guest. Ito po ay isa pong karangalan na makasama siya ngayong gabing ito. It's an honor to have our very special guest for tonight here in Live the Live Video via Pinoy TV Special. At siya po ay he is a Canadian politician and businessman from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, who has served on Calgary City Council from 2001 to 2010 and has been an MLA in the Legislative Assembly of Alberta since 2012. At ngayon po, siya ang ating Alberta's Minister of Transportation. Please welcome ang ating kagalang-galang na si Honorable Ric McIver. Palakpakan naman natin, mga kaibigan.
Thank you, Juan. My Tagalog isn't very good, but it is something you said that I understand. Rose among thorns. That makes sense in English too very well. So it's great to be here with you tonight to have a chat on your special, and I look forward to our time together. Salamat po.
Yeah, we got like 5 questions for you, Minister. And here's the first question. So we're gonna start now, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready, Minister?
I am ready, Juan. Ready. Anything for Juan Manila.
Okay. Oops. All right. So in Alberta's recovery plan, you announced over $10 billion in stimulus for infrastructure projects to create jobs and get the economy back on track. Can you provide us a little update on this, Minister Ric McIver?
Well, thank you. Under Premier Kenny's leadership, we have committed $10 billion towards getting Alberta's economy going again, to create jobs now and to build infrastructure for the future, so that as the ability to recover the economy goes forward, we'll have the right infrastructure to help Albertans get to work. We're building roads, we're building bridges, schools, hospitals, lots of other work that Albertans need done, and we're doing it. We're trying to be careful, make sure that everything that we're spending money on right now to stimulate the economy is not a short-term purchase, but rather something that will have long-term benefits for Albertans, so that we can get to work now and that the infrastructure will benefit our children and our grandchildren in decades to come. So we're pretty proud of the efforts we're making, and we have a lot of work to do yet to make it all come together.
Okay, that's really good. Now, here's the follow-up questions for you, Minister. The Chutina Trail in Southwest Calgary opened on, I think you still remember this, on October 1st. What
October
changes
1st.
have you noticed, and when will the remainder of the project open? What about the West Calgary Ring Road?
Great question. Well, first of all, Juan, I want you to know that it's a great road. People are using it. We've had over 1 million vehicle trips on that piece of road already that we opened up on October 1st.
Yeah.
So that means that Albertans are using the new road very much.
Yeah.
A year from now, probably next October, the area from McLeod Trail and 22X over to the area that opened now will open up a year from now.
Mhm.
So, and then 1 to 2 years after that, the two west portions from essentially from Highway 8 over to Highway 1
Mhm.
will become part of the ring road. And 2024 at the latest, but there's a good chance it'll be a year or two earlier than that. So next year, the first part, and a year or two after that, the rest of it will open up, and finally, the ring road will be a ring.
The ring road will be a ring, so that's good. Is there any timeline on the ring road to be a ring?
Like I said, 3 years is what we're hoping for.
3 years, okay. So that would be like 2024, right?
Yep, but there will be a new section open up next year, and 1 or 2 years after that, there will be the other two sections will open up 1 or 2 years after that. So we're getting to the point now where it's actually becoming better and better. And as I say, even the part we have now, we've already had 1 million cars on the new section that we just opened up October 1st. So I guess Albertans are voting with their vehicles, they're voting with their travel decisions, and I guess that's a positive thing if they're using the new infrastructure.
All right. So let's go on to our second question. Go ahead, Miss Emily Caday.
Minister McIver, wow, all of those things that you have just said, like really excites me. And I think, all of our listeners would be very excited to, and looking forward to those changes in our, in our environment and our traffic and all that, and in those different areas. I mean, it's, it's going to take a little while, 3 to 4 or 5 years, but, it's something to really, really look forward to.
Yes.
Well, it's been 60 years in the making.
Wow. Well, you know what? We've waited 60 years. What is 5 years more, right?
Yeah.
And then earlier this month, you also announced the FAST Act on, which will have Alberta, user, have fees on using the highways. And I believe you had a second reading about the law on Tuesday. Could you please tell us more about this law?
Yeah, we're one of the last provinces in Canada to give ourselves permission to do roads with user fees or tolls on them. We don't know how much we're going to use it yet, but I want to assure Albertans that when we do put our user fee or a toll on a road, it won't replace other roads. It will be in addition to. The rules around the project don't allow us to put tolls on additional roads that your listeners can drive on now without a toll. They will always be toll free.
Okay.
The only things we've given ourselves permission to put a toll on is new or expanded roads. So
okay.
Also the money we collect can never go into general revenue. It can only go to pay for the new roads or bridges we build, and once they're paid for, we will stop charging the toll. So your listeners that are concerned about it will be able to spend their whole life in Alberta without paying a toll if they don't want to. But only
nice.
for special cases where we can bring something forward that might not be built for 10 or 20 years, or maybe not ever, are the things that we will consider for a toll road or a toll bridge. So I think I believe most of your listeners will think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And do you guys have somehow an idea on how much would the toll fee would be?
Well, every situation will be different. We have some estimates on the original bridge up. This all started out with the ferry in Tompkins Landing in northern Alberta, northwestern Alberta. There's a ferry that operates on Highway 697 across the Peace River. And I went up there a few months ago to tell them that we were going to replace it with a new ferry. And they were very firm, saying they don't want a new ferry, they want a bridge. And of course, with the traffic counts up there, there's no way that the government would ever build the size of bridge that's needed. So they actually came to us with this idea, and they said, we want a bridge and we'll pay for it, charge a toll. So while we don't know what the toll might be, and of course we have to wait till the legislation passes, and that's never a sure thing, but if the legislation passes, our initial estimates are about $150 for a truck and somewhere between $5 and $20 for a car. And but that saves an hour and a half trip around.
Right.
Yeah. The companies that run trucks over there said that's a bargain for us. That'll actually save us money. And for most people that operate their car, if you drive your car, for an hour and a half, I don't know what, it depends on which car you drive, how much just fuel you would use. So people up there seem to say that they are in favor of this. So we're putting legislation in place so that we can work through the process and get this started.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. Again, something to look forward to. And, in the end, it'll benefit everyone and every commuters around, right?
Well, yeah. And it started from us listening to Albertans. We come in, like I said, with the intention to put in a new ferry and pay for it. And the people from northwestern Alberta said, no, we would rather pay for our own bridge with a toll. So we are basically saying yes to the people of northwestern Alberta that made a very big request.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
Okay, go ahead
since
for our follow-up question. Do you have a follow-up question, Miss Emily?
Well, my next question would be, like, since we're talking about driving and roads and all that, I know that with COVID, and everything, it's been hard for people and for Albertans to get a road test.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't get their driver licenses on time, which affects their ability to get to work. Having a driver's license, of course, as we know, is an essential, part of our lives here in Alberta. You also announced, changes to the road test model. What's changing, and what prompted the change?
Okay, Miss Emily, great question. I'll tell you what's has changed is about a year and a half ago, about 2 weeks before the last election, the government got rid of the private ability to deliver driver's tests, and they made all of the driver examiners government employees. The problem is half of them quit. So we only had half as many driver examiners. So we were way behind for a year. They went from 150 to 77 driver examiners. So we've been hiring ever since. So we've got ourselves up to about 190 driver examiners now. And we are going to the system that worked pretty well until the previous government messed it up a year and a half ago. So starting on December 1st, people will be able to go to their local registry agent and book a test starting in January. And one phone call to the registry agent, book your test, pay for your test, arrange for a driver examiner, all done and dusted. Instead of going onto the government website right now where people go on, they pay for their test, and sometimes they can't get it for 4, 6, or 8 or 10 weeks. And it's just not good enough service for Albertans. So it's taken us a little while to undo the mess that was made, but I'm getting very positive response from Albertans that want a driver's test. I'm getting very positive response from the registry agents. So, and that's for class 4, 5, and 6 licenses. At this time, the truck driver's licenses and the bus licenses, class 1, 2, and 3, government will still deliver. But the biggest number of tests that your listeners will want are your basic class 4, 5, and 6, and those will be privatized again. And we hope to, our goal is to return Alberta to the high level of service that they used to enjoy a year and a half ago.
Wow, that's such great news, because I also have friends, who are, who keeps telling me they're having a hard time booking for a road test, and
Yeah.
it takes them like months, like 3 months, 4 months even.
Miss
So
Emily, your
yeah.
friends are 100% correct. Their complaints are legitimate. We agree with them that it's not good enough now, which is why we're making the changes.
Well, on behalf of them, I really wanted to thank you for listening, and like making all the the changes, and we'll certainly look forward to that.
Boy, oh boy, there's a lot of there's thousands of Albertans that really need us to do this. So we're
Yeah.
happy that we've done it. It's still going to take a few months longer to catch up on the backlog of tests, but with the
Hmm.
changes we're making, we feel we'll be able to catch up a lot faster and then stay caught up. And
Yeah.
boy, Albertans do deserve better service than they've gotten.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Back to you, Kuya Juan Manila.
Okay mga kaibigan, yan po ang ating talakayan ngayong araw na ito. Actually, we're talking about the Alberta's economic recovery. At nandiyan po ang ating, para sa ating mga infrastructures, kasama po natin si Minister of Transportation, si Honorable Ric McIver. And later on, my friend here, Hermo Pagtakhan, will be summarizing all the answers in Tagalog. Okay, so in Tagalog, so everybody can understand what we talk about, Honorable Ric McIver. I hope you don't mind if we're going to speak in Tagalog.
No, it's okay.
Juan Manila.
Salamat po for speaking like Tagalog. It's good.
Juan Manila, before I make the summary, can I ask the minister, good minister, a question so that my translation will be accurate? Can I ask him?
Sure. But after your question, it will be the introduction of Miss Emily Caday to our performer, okay?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Minister McIver, sir, good discussion so far. You've explained the government's position and what it's been doing. But in the interest of clarity and accuracy, because I have to translate your statement later on, and I promise you I will faithfully and to the best of my ability translate what you have stated, right?
I know you will.
In order for me to do that, I have one question, sir. Am I correct in understanding that Albertans can now approach the local registry agent and arrange for the driver examination, which will be conducted by government-employed driver examiners?
No, you're close. On December 1st.
On December 1st.
Not until December 1st.
Okay,
on December 1st, they can contact their local registry agent, and they will get a government trained driver examiner. The driver examiner will either be an independent contractor or will be working for the registry agent, but they will be under this. But they will be under the supervision of the government. One of the problems previously was that the supervision wasn't close enough. So now every driver examiner on every single test will be required to have a government tablet that they do the test on. It's GPS tracked. So we will know in real time where the driver examiner is. We will know who they're testing. We will know what class of tests they're doing. We will know what roads and parking lots and what stop signs people had to stop at, all that kind of stuff. So the supervision and the oversight will still be very strong by government, but the people doing the test will either be employees of the registry agents or independent contractors contracting with the registry agent. But in every case, they will be trained and approved by the government. In every case, they will be supervised on every test through a GPS tracked tablet every time.
And if I may add, equipped with that government issued tablet, right?
Yes, if they don't have the government issued tablet, they will not be allowed to do driver exams.
Thank you very much, Minister McIver. That clarifies.
And we will do all the COVID. We will require all the COVID cleanings of the vehicles and require both our driver examiners and those getting a test to have a mask and sanitizer and have the vehicle sanitized.
Thank you very much again, Minister McIver.
So that wasn't Tagalog, but I
kaibigan.
did the best
Thank you
I
very
could.
much, Miss.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to our panelists, mga kaibigan. I just want to greet our friends here, Ditas De Jesus from the Philippines. Good evening to you. And ang ating kaibigan from the government of Alberta, Daniel Murray. Good evening, Ms. Daniel Murray. And Mr. Ed Villanueva is here. And then Detective Andy Nguyen is also watching with us right now. Erlyn VA is also watching with us. So just keep watching, mga kaibigan. And if you want some questions, if you have questions, just go ahead and write it to our comment here so we can ask our minister. And I will go to Miss Emily Caday for the introduction of our next performer. Go ahead, Miss Emily. Naka-mute ka. You're mute. Yeah,
there you go. Okay, I've unmuted myself already. Okay, so you know, Hermo would translate everything that Minister McIver would, you know, would be saying for tonight's show in Tagalog, and then. But before that, you know, we have Ed Villanueva, our very good friend, you know, who will be rendering us a song. And then how about Hermo, you would sing and then translate what he would be singing in English or in Tagalog?
I will only do that if you are the one singing.
That would be good, eh?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I bet you can translate everything very well, you know, both English and Tagalog and vice versa. Anyway, friends, let's welcome our very good friend, Ed Villanueva. Take it away.
Thank you, Miss Emily. I'm doing a Tagalog song first, and then later on I'll do another one, an English song. This one is called Himig Pasko. Malamig ang simoy ng hangin, kay saya ng bawat damdamin, ang tibok ng puso sa dibdib, para bang hulog na ng langit. Pasko'y lagana, mayroong sigla ang lahat, walang kalungkutan, lubos ang kasiyahan, himig ng Pasko'y umiirap sa loob ng bawat tahanan. Masaya ang mga tanawin, may awit ang simoy ng hangin. Himig Pasko'y lagana, mayroong sigla ang lahat, walang kalungkutan, lubos ang kasiyahan, malamig ang simoy ng hangin, kay saya ng bawat damdamin, ang tibok ng puso sa dibdib, para bang hulog na ng langit. Thank you very much.
All right. Very good. Very good. It's really beautiful. All right, mga kaibigan, yan po si Mr. Ed Villanueva. Thank you very much, Mr. Ed, and we'll get back to you later. In the meantime, ito na po ang ating summary ng pinag-usapan from first to third question na Isa-summarize po ng ating kaibigan si Mr. Hermo Pagtakhan ng Edmonton. Go ahead, sir. Take it away.
Maraming salamat po muli, kasamang Juan Manila. Pagpaunmanin po ninyo, I will try my best. Susubukan po natin na i-translate to the best of my ability katulad sinabi ko kanina. Pero I have to consult my notes. Ayoko magkamali eh. Para sa ating mga late tuners o late viewers, ito po ang napag-usapan na natin sa mga sa pagkakataong ito. Ang sinabi po ni Minister McIver ay naglaan ng $10 billion ang Alberta government para patuloy na mapatakbo po ang ekonomiya ng Alberta. At para makapaglikha po ng mga bagong trabaho para sa mga mamamayan ng Alberta at pagpapatayo ng mga daan, highway, buildings and structures, ano po. At ang layunin po nito ay ma-stimulate o mapaunlad po natin lalo ang ekonomiya ng Alberta. Tungkol po naman sa tanong ni Juan Manila na sa Tsutsina Trail, sinabi po ng ating kagalang-galang na minister na ang projected plan po nila o schedule ng opening is gradual. Sa next year po, mayroong segment ng West Ring Road ng Tsutsina Trail o Ring Road ng Calgary ang bubuksan hanggang sa pangalawa at pangatlong taon. And by the third year, sa ikatlong taon po, makakumpleto na ang pagpapatayo ng Ring Road ng Calgary. Tungkol po naman sa FAST Act, sa tanong ni Emily, ang FAST Act ko is Financing Alberta's Structure Act, which is isang batas po para pondohan ang mga pagpapatayo ng mga kali natin at daan, ano? Maglulunsad po sila ng tinatawag na user fees o magbabayad po tayo ng toll fee, parang toll fee po yun sa Pilipinas, ano? Para pondohan ang mga bago at darating na kalye at daanan na gagawin nila o itatayo. Hindi po maapektuhan ang mga kasalukuyang daan natin. Hindi po magkakaroon ng user fee doon o toll fee, kundi para sa mga future na daan na gagawin nila. At ang purpose po nila ay para mapondohan nga po yung pagpapatayo ng mga kalye na yun at daanan. Ang halaga po ng user fee will be depende po sa sitwasyon, katulad ng pinaliwanag ng ating minister. Kasi mahirap pong sabihin ngayon kung magkano nang hindi po napag-aaralan kung anong sitwasyon ng highway o ng daanan. Ang advantage po ng paglikha ng mga bagong daanan na to, magkakaroon po ng alternative o another way para sa mga taga-Calgary na magkaroon ng choice kung saan dadaan. Kasi ito po mga gagawing new highways, ang purpose po nito ay para mapabilis ang daloy ng trapiko at sa gayon, mapabilis din po ang pagdating ninyo sa kanya-kanyang destinasyon. Makakaminos po kasi sa oras ng pagmamaneho. Tungkol po naman sa changes o pagbabago sa sa driver's test, pinaliwanag po ng ating ministro ng transportation na this coming December 1, sa darating po na December 1, tayo po mga Albertans ay pwede na pumunta sa mga local registry agent. Okay? Ngayon, pwede na pong doon tayo magpabook ng driver's examination test. Pwede na rin po doon tayo mag-arrange kung anong date ang gusto natin. At pwede doon na rin po tayo magbayad. Niliwanag ko po kanina, kasi importante nga po na maintindihan ko, niliwanag ko po kay Minister na itong mga driver examiner na to ay empleyado ng mga registry agent or independent contractor. Meaning to say, hindi konektado sa registry agent, contractist, kinontrata lang po. Ano? At maski na po sila ay empleyado ng registry agent, maski na sila ay independent contractor o kontratista, tututukan po ng gusto ng gobyerno po yan. Ibig sabihin, gobyerno po ang magte-train sa mga examiner na yan. Sila din po magbibigay ng mga gamit like binanggit po ni Minister, bibigyan ng tablet para po na monitor ng gobyerno in real time kung nasaan yung driver examiner at ang estudyante, at kung ano nang ginagawa. Every stage po na monitor ng gobyerno. Nang sa gayon po, may patupad ang pagpapatupad ng batas sa examination ng maayos at walang sigalot o problema. Yun lang po ang unless meron po kayong may dagdag, Ginoong Juan Manila o Emily, then yun po ang summary na may dudulot ko sa inyo. Maraming salamat po muli.
Okay.
Kumusta po ang mga late tuners natin and late viewers?
Ayos, okay. So far, so good. Okay naman sa akin. Yung mga naitanong ko, yun ang naisagot ko kay Emily. Emily, what can you say about the summary? Is that good? Or may dadagdag ka?
It's very good. Yeah, it's very good. And thank you, Sir Hermo, for translating that to our, kababayans. Yan. Kasi, there are a lot of our viewers or listeners that, like maybe tuned in a little bit later than, 6 o'clock. So yeah, it's good that they have a rundown on, what has transpired, for the past 30 minutes. Yeah, thank you. I'm still waiting for the song though.
Okay. All right. Babatiin ko muna yung mga latecomers natin. Si Lisel Valenzuela, hello ko. Magandang gabi po sa inyo. Si Erlyn VA, watching from the Philippines. At si Jun Torre, si Richelle Villanueva, si Nancy Bayawa. And Nancy Bayawa, good evening po sa Pinoy TV. And Tina Montemayor is also watching with us. Maraming salamat. So we're still, okay, there you go. So here's we are now accepting again Mr. Ric McIver. Nawala siya sandali eh. Okay, ito na.
Emily, by the way, Bong Liano says hi to you and Paul.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
We're good friends, and he said you're good friends as well.
Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah. We haven't seen him in a long time. Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, we'll definitely send a message to him.
All right, Mr. Ric Honorable Ric McIver, again, to those who just tuned in, mga kaibigan, our very, very special guest is Alberta's Transportation Minister, Mr. Ric McIver. Ito na po siya. And I think we have we're now on the fourth question, right?
Yes.
Are we on the first question, Mr. Hermo?
Thank you very much, Juan Manila. Minister McIver, again, I assure you that I have translated your statements earlier to the best of my ability, and I have my two oversight here, Juan Manila and Emily.
and I apologize. I left you early. I thought you were. I thought you were finished with me. My apologies.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And we are very grateful that you can still be here, because I know that your time is very precious, Minister. And we are very proud. We are very humble that you gave us your time to, to join our live show for tonight.
I am always happy to be here with you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Hermo.
Again, Minister McIver, thank you for clarifying to us the salient provisions of the FAST Act. If I may be allowed to continue, Minister McIver, I'd like to ask you, what else has the government been doing to make it easier to get a road test? Can you explain that to our viewers, please?
Well, thank you. We've actually made it again so that people can go to their registry agent to get a road test. We have hired a lot more driver examiners. Like I said, when we took government a year and a half ago, there was only 77 people qualified to do driver examinations that were available. Now we have about 190. We've authorized overtime. When, like I say, as we go to start delivering them through the registry agents privately, then most people think that we'll be able to go from, some driver examiners can only get in 4 or 6 tests a day. We think that many will be able to get in 8 or 10 or 12 tests a day. So when you add all of that up, that should make it so that there is we start to catch up a lot faster, and people will be able to get their tests with a lot less waiting time than they have had for the last year.
Thank you very much, Minister McIver. I'd like to also ask you, as you said earlier, these changes are impacting road tests, right?
Yes.
And one category that we know that's gotten quite hard to get as well is the Class 1 driver's
Wow.
license. And Class 1 is for the sake of our viewers, commercial driver's license in Alberta. My question is, for the sake of our viewers and listeners who are watching and are listening to us now, could you please discuss any further plans that the government has in regards to this area?
Thank you. It's the whole Class 1 driver's license thing has changed. The United States made a rule about a year or two ago that said that unless Canadian truck drivers have what's called MELT, mandatory entry level training, they won't be able to cross into the United States. So we have been trying to convert our training to mandatory entry level training. It's not a lot different than what was done before, but it's a little bit higher, I would say higher standard. So we are, that's here to stay. We're not going to lower the standard, but what we are trying to do is make it more convenient for Albertans to get that higher standard of training. We're looking for ways to make it less expensive. It's can be as much as $10,000 to get trained on for a Class 1 license. We are looking for ways to deliver some of those hours either through a simulator or online or through virtual reality. We're exploring those things. We are looking for ways to subsidize some of the training, both for on the employer side and on the driver side, so that to make the training more affordable. We are looking at if it's appropriate to recognize some of Class 3 is for example, a cement truck. If somebody's been driving a Class 3 for 5 years, we're thinking about whether that should count for some hours towards the Class 1. We're looking at putting in a category of licensing for Class 1 for automatic transmission only. A lot of people have actually said they don't want to drive a Class 1 standard transmission. It's harder to rent a truck for the test. It's more expensive. And they say, and they are, of course, if somebody has the test on an automatic transmission, then they would not be licensed to drive a standard transmission. So we're looking at some custom choices like that in order to get more people professionally trained and qualified in a Class 1 so that they can drive safely. But we're looking for ways to do it so that it's a little more accessible for Albertans, a little more affordable, because there's a shortage of truck drivers and the shortage is going to get bigger. So we're trying a whole bunch of things to, and we're also, with the help of our finance minister, looking for ways to make the insurance more accessible for new Class 1 drivers. So we actually have a lot of different efforts going on at the same time, where we can hold the same high standard for safety in place and yet make it more accessible for Albertans to hit those high standards of safety and to be able to afford to get their training and their license and to make it more accessible.
Thank you very much, Minister. Any other comments or further statements that you wish to make?
Just that one of the things that have actually helped us to make the progress on this is I have in the last couple of months with my staff gone out and talked to in at least 10 cities across Alberta, talk to driver groups to say, what do you need us to do differently? So most of the ideas that were coming forward actually come from Albertans that are struggling to get their license, struggling to get insurance after they get their license. And we are trying to listen to Albertans and adjust our training program so that we maintain the high standard of safety and yet make it more accessible. So I would say to your listeners, if you have more ideas of other things that we can do that will meet these goals of a lot of safety, then while still making it more accessible, then you should tell us and we will listen to you.
Thank you very much again, Minister. Back to you, Juan Manila.
All right, thank you very much. Maraming salamat sa ating mga panelists and those and that is the last questions that we have for Minister McIver. And before Minister McIver leave, I just want to read this Legislative Assembly Alberta, the certificate of recognition that you gave us, Mr. Minister McIver. So, dear Mr. Renato Barnachea, please accept this letter as my recognition for your hard work as an outstanding organizer for the promotion and awareness of the Filipino-Canadian community. As a member of the Filipino-Canadian Broadcasters Society, Radio Pinoy and Pinoy TV, your dedication and values to your community has strengthened the Filipino families in Calgary, Alberta, and across Canada. Best wishes and continued success with your future endeavors. Sincerely, Honorable Ric McIver. Thank you very much, Honorable Ric McIver. Thank you very much for recognizing our part to Filipino-Canadian community.
Mabuhay to you, mabuhay to the Philippines community. We love you. We are great citizens, great Albertans, and we love spending time with you.
Salamat, Minister. Salamat po, Minister.
Salamat.
So do you have any
Minister.
final thoughts, Minister?
Well, just that I just want to say how much I appreciate all the efforts that the Filipino community have made for Alberta during this time of COVID. I know a lot of members of the community work in the healthcare field and in other essential services. It's a very tough time, and yet the Filipino people show up for work every day and do their best to make keep Alberta running during these tough times. We appreciate that. And I would say to Filipino people and to all Albertans, let's keep doing our best to listen to the Chief Medical Officer of Health and make good decisions so that we can stay as safe as we can during this time of COVID-19.
All right. Thank you very much, Minister, and good night to you. We appreciate your presence to our show for tonight, and best wishes to you and to your company there, to your staff. Mackenzie Kivler, thank you very much, my friend, for this communication to have Mr. Ric McIver to have in our
Mackenzie
show.
Mackenzie does a great job for me
Yes.
and for Albertans. Thank you.
All right. So let's go on to Miss Emily Caday. Miss Emily Caday, go ahead for our second performance na.
All right. So is this a translation from Hermo this time, from the Filipino song to an English song?
As long as you're the one singing.
Well, no, you have to pay me for that.
Okay,
Do you
Mr.
want-
Barnachea
I
then.
don't-
I don't
say
do it
thank
for
you first?
free.
Do you want to say thank you first to our minister here?
Of course, Minister Ric McIver, thank you so much for your time tonight. And, on behalf of our listeners, we also wanted to thank you for listening to the Albertans, and these changes that will be coming, are exciting and something to really look forward to, and I'm excited. So yeah, and you stay safe, and God bless you and your family and your staff.
Salamat po, Miss Emily. It's great to
Advance
meet you.
Merry Christmas, Minister.
Merry Christmas, Minister. Merry Christmas.
All right, so bye. All right. Okay, and so thank you as well, Mr. Mackenzie Kibler. And so right now we have our very good friend again, Mr. Ed Villanueva. Pare, nakainom ka na ng tubig.
Okay na, ready na.
Yeah, recharge na ulit. Yeah.
And then
Ready na ulit.
Ed's followed by Emily, I guess.
Nako,
Oh,
hindi
no.
pwede. Baka
Dali,
mawalan
batiin
ng
ko.
view.
Batiin ko lang yung ano niya. Batiin ko lang si Richelle Villanueva. Congratulations, Juan Manila. And Pat JP Cadena Mangoba is also watching with us. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you,
Go ahead,
JP.
Eddie.
JP is a friend of ours, and I also want to greet the Zumba divas. Zumba with Tina, yan, and then Zumba with Manny, Zumba with Louie, yun.
Zumba
and
community.
the Zumba community, yes, yeah, oh. Tina Montemayor, yes. Hi, good evening, my friend. Thank you for watching. And okay, go ahead, Kuya Ed Villanueva, take it away.
Very much, Miss Emily. And again, thank you, Juan Manila, for inviting me again. And this
Maraming
is
salamat sa'yo, pare. Thank you very much. Thank you. Parati ka
walang
na
problema,
yan.
bossing. Basta ikaw.
Maraming salamat sa'yo.
Okay, so this is an English song, an original Filipino music from Jose Marichan, Christmas in Our
Tagalogin ngayon
Hearts.
yan. Ni Hermo.
Whenever I see girls and boys selling lanterns on the street, I remember the child in a manger as he sleeps. Whenever there are people giving gifts, exchanging cards, I believe that Christmas is truly in their hearts. Let's light our Christmas tree for a bright tomorrow, where nations are at peace and all are one in God. Let's sing Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. This season may we never forget the love we have for Jesus. Let him be the one to guide us as another new year starts, and may the spirit of Christmas be always in our hearts. In every prayer and every song, the community unites, celebrating the birth of our Savior Jesus Christ. Let love like that starlight on the first Christmas morn lead us back to the manger where Christ the child was born. So come, let us rejoice, come and sing a Christmas carol with one big joyful voice, proclaim the name of the Lord. Let's sing Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. This season may we never forget the love we have for Jesus. Let him be the one to guide us as another new year starts, and may the spirit of Christmas be always in our hearts. Let's sing Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. This season may we never forget the love we have for Jesus. Let him be the one to guide us as another new year starts, and may the spirit of Christmas be always in our hearts. Thank you very much.
Ayos,
Merry
palakpakan.
Christmas!
Galing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Eds.
Sir Ed
Wonderful.
Villanueva.
Good job.
Okay, hihingi
Thank you,
tayo
Papa.
ng final thoughts sa ating mga panelists ngayong gabing ito, at ako po'y taus-puso nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng ating panelists, si Emily at si Hermo, na parating nandyan at gusto rin po makipag-contribute dito sa ating ginagawang show every Saturday dito sa ating Pinoy TV Special Love na Live Video. At syempre si Mr. Ed Villanueva, maraming salamat sa kanyang performance every time na ating papakiusapan, nandiyan dyan parate. Pare, maraming salamat. Diyan ka lang. At Merry Christmas po. Merry Christmas po sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan. Ewan ko, ilang araw na lang, 31 days na lang ba o 32 more days till Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, oo.
Babatiin ko muna si Kuya Rogie, yung Rolly Mi Edmonton, happy birthday. At sa linggo naman, Rolly Mi Calgary naman, happy birthday. Kay Kuya Ronnie, happy birthday. Kaya
Ay, Kuya.
babatiin kayo.
Speaking of birthday, I also want to greet Christina Makapili a very happy birthday.
Ayun, si Christina.
Yeah, siya ang aming teacher Tina sa Zumba. Yes, happy
Super.
birthday. And mga November birthday si Tita Marisa Roldan, and also si Maan Mikdaw, happy birthday. Yun.
Yeah.
Daming mga November birthdays eh. Naku, kung may nakalimutan ako, sorry.
Basta sabihin mo sa lahat ng November. Ikaw, Ed, baka meron kang babatiin, pare. Meron ka bang babatiin, birthday? November?
Next month pa, bossing. Then nag-birthday yung anak ko ngayong November. November 10. So, happy birthday.
November 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Si Hermo, Mr. Hermo, meron ka bang babating happy birthday?
Yeah, two things na, pa-plugin ko lang. The November issue of the Alberta Filipino Journal is out now. Please get your copies. I write monthly. I have a monthly column ang pangalan Huwag Pagtakhan, ano? And the journal
Oh.
contains very interesting and informative articles as well. So I hope you'll enjoy the articles there.
So
And
Sir,
ano naman ang article mo tungkol saan naman ang mga articles na iyong sinusulat?
marami na ako naisulat, pero for this November, ang special na sinulat ko is about Undas. Our Undas o Todos los Santos in sa Edmonton ko in-establish yun. Hopefully, we can start something in Calgary too, no? But I started it in Edmonton in 2014.
Meron na rin kami dito. Meron na rin kami dito sa Undas.
Meron na rin. That's good.
Oh, meron na rin.
That's good. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah.
so is that available in digital copies too?
Yes,
Or-
yes.
Okay.
Yes. I will send you the link kung ano or through Juan Manila here.
Oh, hindi. Pagdating mo na sa Pinoy TV, pare. Pinoy TV.
Yes. And then also, siyempre, batiin ko yung pag-goodwill tayo, pag-good shot. Batiin ko rin si Honey Baby Cakes ko by the Pagtakhan who
Talaga
celebrate
naman.
last November 4. No?
Sobrang
Happy
kami.
birthday, Honey.
Honey
Honey
baby.
Baby Cakes. Okay.
Honey Baby Cakes.
Okay.
Talaga naman.
Punta na tayo kay Miss Emily Caday para sa kanyang final thought for this discussion. Go ahead, Miss Emily.
First of all, Kuya Juan Manila, thank you so much for having me again. And, it's very interesting to note na ang daming plano para sa ating, transportation and building a new transportation and infrastructure sa, like not only sa Calgary and then yung ring road na yan. Ini-imagine ko kanina nung kinukwento niya kung saan magdudugtong-dugtong, it would be, it would be very interesting to see. Yeah, and yung projection niya na 3 to 5 years, it's not gonna be that far. Kasi mabilis na ang panahon.
Mabilis,
and yung mga changes na, they're planning to make, yung mga, buti na lang marami ng mga, mga road test Examiners, yes, thank you. Examiners. So, at least, we'll get things faster kasi alam ko marami talagang backlog. Yeah, according to katulad ng sabi ko kanina, like my friends are, even complaining because they have to wait, 3-4 months just to get a road test and schedule pa lang yun. Kumbaga, wala pa yung, hindi pa alam kung matutuloy nga ba o hindi. Kasi I've heard na, there are times where, a week before the examination, it would have to be canceled and rescheduled. So, hopefully that would minimize that, that backlog. Yeah. So thank you for having me again.
Okay, maraming salamat sa iyo. Suki na rin natin to si Miss Emily Caday. Ang ang kinabibilib ko lang dito sa ating ministry ng transportation, pare, kasi Mr. Hermo and si Emily tiga rito naman sa Calgary. Here in Calgary, yung Chutina Trail, there were lots of challenges before it was made. Kasi ang ating indigenous nation or indigenous families here were against that project. Kasi sacred, pare. Sacred yung daan na yun. Kaya ayaw nilang pagalaw.
Sacred grounds.
Yeah, pero eventually it was made like, that was open on October 1st. Doon lang ako talagang bumilib sa kanila na nabuksan pa rin nila yon, pinaglaban nila. So anyway, pare, sige ikaw, ang iyong last thought para sa ating usapan.
Basta nagpapasalamat po ako muli sa ating magiting na kababayan na si Juan Manila and kay Madam Diwata, ipagpatuloy ninyo ang pagsisilbi sa ating komunidad at para sa inang bayan, Mabuhay kayo, Emily, mabuhay Eds, mabuhay ang Filipino community in Alberta, Canada.
Ayos, okay.
Advance Merry Christmas na rin.
Merry Christmas na. Ed, may sasabihin ka pa? Wala na. Okay ka na, pare?
Bossing, yung greetings ko kanina doon sa anak ko, tsaka yung mama ko kasi November 3 din ng birthday.
Wow.
Belated happy birthday, ma.
Ilan taon na mama mo? Ilan taon na?
64 po yata.
Baka kasing edad lang pala ni Hermo yun eh.
Juan Manila, 44 lang ako.
44 ka nga lang pala. 40,
Pero
46.
I am 44 years old with 20 years experience.
Yon.
Ako 46 lang. Pare, 46 lang ako.
Hindi, 26 ka lang with 20 years experience.
46 ako, magpo-47 ako next January, pare.
Dadayuhin ka namin sa January, pare, ha?
50 na ako, 57. Well, anyway, mga kaibigan, para bago tayo magbulgara ng ating mga edad, ha? Ito po si Juan Manila, nagpapasalamat sa lahat ng ating mga naging special guest, sa lahat ng ating mga nakasama. Ako po natutuwa at nagsama-sama muli tayo dito sa ating Pinoy TV Special live video via Love na live video ni Juan Manila. Huwag po natin kalimutang manalangin bago matulog at huwag po natin kalimutang ipagbunyi, ipagdiwang, pagpapalat, pag-ibig ng Diyos na ibinibigay po sa atin sa araw-araw. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay mga Pinoy!
Mabuhay, mabuhay. Mabuhay mo naman.
God bless everybody.
God bless. Oh,
God bless.
all.
Stay safe, everyone. Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Kanta ka muna, Juan Manila. Kumanta ka muna.